I think I would like to ask for your advice. What is your advice, Prof, to the young lecturers and researchers in coming out or in researching of a concept? Like, for example, is it okay for us to merge few conventional ideas and saying that that is, Islamic-based, or do we need to come up with a new concept altogether, Prof?
Yeah, it's quite interesting and very important question. Alhamdulillah. You can see the efforts to Islamize the knowledge. Yeah, I think we can salute IIUM for this, because the figures in IIUM has been working very hard to Islamize the knowledge, but Islamization of knowledge. There are a few versions of Islamization of knowledge. Yeah. The first one is to Islamize whatever knowledge, including the Western ethnocentric knowledge. What we need to do is to modify, and this is what we call the accommodative modification methodologic approach 3. Meaning that we take the Western perspective, Western knowledge, and then we say that, we can use this because it's not against Islam, it is not in contradiction with Islam. But we need to modify. We need to modify a little bit on it. So we try to find a nas, Quran ke Hadith ke, and then we try to say that, say for instance, in Islamic economics, there are saying that we have to work more in order to maximize the productivity, and we have to work hard for that. And then our brothers and sisters will try to find the nas in the Quran and also in the Hadith, which ask us to work hard. You see, by doing that, we are actually justifying, the Western anthrocentric thinking. By working hard without redefining the concept of working. So we call it Islamization of knowledge, because we Islamize, we accommodate that knowledge, the Western knowledge, we modify it by ayat Quran ke Hadith, which probably we can term as ayatization. We try to ayatize, mengayatkan ini, that ini, and then we say, look, and then we use the conventional research methodology to do that, and then we come up with what we call, this is Islamic economic, Islamic sociology, Islamic halal. Yeah, is there any Islamic halal? I think we cannot put Islamic halal, because halal is already Islamic, right? So everything is Islamic, but then within the framework, we do not destroy the concept, the framework of the Western ethnocentric thinking. So we develop the so-called Islamic things within that philosophy. I think that is wrong, that is incorrect. I think the late Professor Muhammad Kamal Hassan realized this very much, and also our distinguished Professor Syed Muhammad Najib. Both of them were saying, the first one, Professor Muhammad Kamal was saying that we are not going to Islamize the knowledge. We are going to Islamize the human knowledge, which is quite different, right? The human knowledge, our knowledge, we have to Islamize that. But then, in doing that, we are not integrating the Western with the Islamic knowledge. We want to develop it from within the framework of the Islamic tasawwur, Islamic worldview, from Islamic worldview, and then we establish it from within our own paradigms. And therefore, we have to redefine the concept by the Islamic concept. We at ISTEF very keen with that kind of thinking, meaning that we are using what we call a non-accommodative modification methodology approach. We want to bongkeh semua, all the umbi, the roots of the tree, and then we want to plant a new tree, which is called an Islamic tree, rather than modifying the existing trees. Potong the branches, and then hopefully that the fruits will come up Islamic foods, which is impossible. That's why I think there are a lot of confusion in this. A lot of confusion is there. I can still remember, if I can share you a story. I was appointed by IIUM a long time ago to be the evaluator, to evaluate the research of the intellectuals in IIUM. And I came to know about a research which is very interesting, very good, very professional, which tried to develop a model of cooperation within the Muslim countries, the economic cooperations within the among the Muslim countries, which is good. But then when I interviewed the researchers, I asked them, I was saying to them that actually you are not contributing to Islam. You are contributing to capitalism, because the cooperation, the collaboration within the Muslim countries is based on the Eurocentric thinking of collaboration and cooperation, which is still assume resources are scarce. Human beings are having unlimited wants, and then you're using the capitalism as the platform to cooperation, for cooperation, and actually you are not contributing to Islam, but you are strengthening the ideas of Eurocentrism thinking. Kenapa? Sebab ya Islam kat situnya is only the Muslim countries, but the systems, the theories are still the Western Eurocentric thinking. I think that is very dangerous. So I think all of us need to probably we can share also. I was appointed as external examiner of a thesis at IIUM, and the chairman was from one of the from political science. So I was saying, oh, you are teaching Islamic political science. He said, no, I don't know about Islamic political systems. I only teach the conventional political systems. So I was surprised. To know, oh, in IIUM, there are people who are not really know about the Islamic parts or the Islamic perspective of their disciplines, but instead they are teaching the conventional. That happens. And I remember that in one of our meetings, I asked, well, we were trying to help the establishment of the Malaysia Islamic University, and Professor Kamal was there. And I asked, let's discuss what are the problems that have been facing by the existing Islamic universities. Before we embark to establish a new Islamic university. And definitely we asked Professor Kamal Hassan, because he was the rector of the IIUM. So Professor Kamal also said the problem is the bodies. Bodies mean the problems is the persons. As opposed to the earlier generations of IIUM who are very committed to Islam. They have the struggle. They have the intention to strive for Islam. But it's quite different from the later generation. That's what kita punya the elders lah, kita orang tua observe. It's quite different, because those who come to an Islamic university is not necessarily well versed with Islamic system within their own disciplines. I'm not too sure about the others, but this is probably the rare case of a special case that I've met. And I think for the young intellectual at IIUM, also in others, whenever you want to do Islam, inshallah, go from within the Islamic framework rather than from the Western Eurocentric framework. Right? Dr. Nalisida.
Thank you very much, Prof. It's a very good insight of yours. I think we have got to do lots more. Yes, what we can say that the internalization of Islamization of by oneself is actually lacking. Yeah, Prof, as we see in ourselves, what more when we teach to others. So I think this part of ourselves that we need to improve.
Yeah, I just remember, and no, you said I remember one thing.
Yes,
I was appointed as a evaluator of a book from INHART. From INHART.
Subhanallah.
Yeah, from INHART. So one of the comments I can remember is that the author refer to Western writers. So we discuss about the literature review. So many of the, in fact, almost more than 90% are referred to Western writers and researchers. And then when they thought, there is something to do with the Islamic management of halal. I can't really remember the exact topic of the book. But then the other thing is that whenever you discuss about the model, discuss the Western model and try to fill in the halal management process within that management or Western management model. That was, I think, one of the main questions that I asked from the author. Alhamdulillah, I see that the book has been published, alhamdulillah, and hopefully that with improvement on that. So I can imagine within your younger generation, you are still trapped within the Western ethnocentric thinking and also philosophies. So try to liberalize yourself, yeah. Try to jadi merdeka lah, and come back to the roots of Islam, inshallah.
True, bro, true.
And that also halal. Halal is also it's quite dangerous because when we talk about halal, we talk much on the profit. And halal is much more on commercialization process rather than the lifestyle. And then the Prophet ﷺ, and also if you can see during the Islamic resurgence in the 1980s, 1970s in Malaysia, and also in all over the world, when we talk about halal, we are more attached with the lifestyle rather than with the profit. So I can remember when we were studying abroad, yeah. Whenever you enter a supermarket, you want to buy, say, for instance, jam, jam or whatever. You memorize the E code. E code name kita E for fun, and so it is lot and all that. Yeah? You really memorize that. Why? It's not because of the profit. You want to be a lifestyle. You want to eat halal food because halal will determine your heart. Yeah.
Yes.
Even I can still remember during 1980s, 1970s, our friends, when we want to eat at the stalls, yeah, and then makan mie or whatever, kway teow, they dare to ask the owner from which supplier do you take it? This mie is made by the Muslim or non-Muslim. If it is by non-Muslim, they don't take it. It is much more of lifestyle, which is, I think, quite different from what we're doing in halal now, yeah, in halal. And sometimes you have the expo, the halal expo, and then we go there. Sometimes we ask the yang jaga counter, you are producing halal food. Yeah, yes, this is all halal. Yeah. But you yourself are not halal.
Oh, wow.
She was surprised. Why? Because you don't cover yourself properly. You don't cover yourself properly. So how come you're talking about halal food, but not, you yourself are not really halal? So at each step, we are more keen to discuss about halal lifestyle rather than halal commercialization or halal management within the Western ethnocentric thinking. Yeah. Right.
Thank you very much, Prof. I think this serves as a lesson. Very good insight, Prof. This is just the first episode, Prof. MashaAllah, we are looking much more to much more interesting discussions, fruitful advices.